Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a step-by-step Todoist tutorial. Todoist is one of the best tools on the market for keeping you and your team organized. And in this video, I'm going to break down the entire software and show you everything that you need to know. So the first thing that you want to do is click on the top link in the description of this video. It is this link right here, geforcenorth.com/recommend/Todoist. And when we enter this in, it's going to take you over to the Todoist sign up page where you can create a free account with Todoist. So we can click on start for free. And from here, we can now sign up with either Google, Facebook, Apple, or simply by entering an email and a password. I'm going to go for Google as I think this is the easiest option. And then from here, it's now going to ask us to create a profile. So we can enter in our name. Down here, it's going to ask if we want to use Todoist with your team. So this is an option if you want to use Todoist as kind of like a workflow and a project manager. And if you do want to use this with a team, I will show you how to do this later. But for now, we will leave this off. It's then going to ask, how do we plan to use Todoist? So in here, I'm just going to say personal. And just like that, we are inside of Todoist. By default, we are going to have some information in here. So these have been automatically created like welcome, try boards. But we want to clean this up and take these out because we don't need these. So let's go to welcome, click on these three dots, and then we can delete this. And then we will do the same for try boards. So now that we have everything cleared up, the first thing that we are going to do is create a new project. We can create different projects in Todoist for different purposes. For example, I might create a to-do list project to keep me on top of my to-do list. And then I also may want to create a YouTube content project to help me stay on top of my YouTube content. Let's first of all start out with the to-do list. So we can go to My Projects, click on this plus icon, add a project, and then I'm just going to go in here and call this to do. We can then choose the color that we want to set this to. So let's set this to a nice green color. And then we can choose the view. So we have list and we have board. Now a list is going to be a simple list that goes down. And then a board is going to be more of a Kanban. I will show you both of these views. So let's just go ahead and create this to-do list. And as you can see on this left-hand side, I now have this to-do list created. Inside of this to-do list, we can now go ahead and start adding tasks. So let's click on add task and let's start creating this to-do list. So for this task name, I'm going to set the first task on my to-do list, which is going to be eat breakfast. I can then go down here and choose if I want to add a description, which I don't want to do. And then down at the bottom, we can create a due date if this is a set deadline. Obviously, eating breakfast isn't. We can set an assignee if we want to set a member of our team. I will get more into teams later on in the tutorial. We can then set a priority if this specific task has a priority. And then reminders is going to require us to upgrade the account. But for now, let's click on add task. And as you can see, this task has now been created. We can then go ahead and create a second task, and this task is going to be record Todoist tutorial. Now, this task right here, this actually does have a due date. So let's set this to today. This needs doing today. This is also important. So I'm going to set a priority for this. Once again, we can click on add task, and you can see this is going to show up slightly different with the red ring around this check mark because this is set as a high priority. We can also see the date that this is due and the fact that this is due today. I'm now going to go ahead and add a few more tasks to this to-do list. I now have my to-do list planned out for today. So we have eat breakfast. We then have 3 tasks that are all due today, and these are all high priority, as we can see right here. And then we also need to go to the gym. Now, if we go further down, we can see just here, we have add section. So this is where we can add new sections, and I can section out between different days. So if I go add section, we can call this tomorrow. Then we can add this section right here. And then once again, we can go through, we can add tasks, and we can start planning out tomorrow. So I'm going to say eat breakfast once again. Then we could say record Zoom video. I'm going to set the due date to tomorrow this time. And then we can add this task. And I'm just going to leave it here for now. There's no point in adding a bunch more. Now, what you will notice is over on this right-hand side, under today, we now have 3 tasks that are due today. So instead of coming through all of these lists, like if we have a lot, then it's going to take a long time to go through all of these. Well, Todoist is going to categorize everything that we need to do today in this today section. So every morning I can simply come into today and then I can see all of my tasks that are due for today. So let's say I complete this one, record Todoist tutorial. I can check this off. And now if I go back over my to-do list, we can see that this is going to be taken off there as well. Then let's say I go ahead and eat breakfast. That's going to be taken off. If I edit my Todoist tutorial, so this is at 2 right now, I check this off, and that's going to drop back down to 1. We also have this upcoming section, and this is going to show you kind of like a calendar view. We can actually switch this between a list calendar view that you see right here. So we can see the tasks that are due today and the tasks that are due tomorrow. And I can go up to view in this top right corner, and we can switch this to board, which is going to give it more of a regular calendar view. And I prefer this. So we can see today, all of my tasks that are due today, and then tomorrow, all of my tasks that are due tomorrow are going to show here as well. If I go back to the to-do list, we can make any changes that we want to by simply hovering over the item that we want to change. Then we can click into edit and make any changes. We can also go set due date, and we can change the due date for this. We can comment on the task. So if we want to add a comment right here, we can add that right there. And then we can also assign people using this section. So that is the list view. The second view that we have is the board view. And I might use the board view if I want to stay on top of tasks. So let's add a new project. And this project is going to be for my YouTube content. So I can fill that in right there. Let's set this color to red. And then let's set this to board. Then we can add, and this is going to show up as a board view. Now we can create some different sections along the top. So in these sections, I want to create a to-do, a video recorded, a video edited, and a video uploaded. So let's title this first section to-do. Then we can add this in right here. Then we have this second section. Let's call this video recorded. This third section, let's call this video edited. And this third section, let's call this video uploaded. Now I can go in and add different tasks, and I will be able to drag them along into each of these individual sections to keep me up to date with my YouTube content. So let's create some tasks. We can go into tasks, and you will see that although it looks slightly different, the layout and everything that we can do is the exact same as the list view. So let's call this Teams tutorial. This is the first task right here. We can then create a second task for Slack tutorial. And then let's create one more, and let's call this Word tutorial. Perfect. We now have all of these tasks under to do. Once these videos have been recorded, I can then come along and drag these into these other sections. So I can now keep on top of this. I can see that I still have to do my Word tutorial, my Teams tutorial I have recorded but haven't edited, and then the Slack tutorial has gone all the way through the process, and this is now uploaded. We can also click into any of these tasks to bring up this bigger screen where we can add some more information. So for my Word tutorial, I might want to add some subtasks and explain step by step exactly how I want this doing. So we can add a subtask, and I might say set up microphone. Then we can say write script, record video, trim video, create thumbnail, add title and description, and upload. So now we can see within the Word tutorial, we have 7 different subtasks that we can complete. So I might say that I've already set up my microphone, and I can check that off right there. Now I can see one of the 7 subtasks have been completed. I can also say I wrote the script, and as we can see, these are going to show up at the bottom. Then let's say I recorded the video, so that's now completed, and I want to move this into the video recorded section. But I can see only 3 of these 7 subtasks have been completed. So I can click in and see what I have to do next. Okay, so I have to trim the video. Let's say I trim the video, and this has now been edited. So that is the My Project section right there. What we can also do is we can click into My Projects, and we can browse the different templates that Todoist has. So if we click in, these are all of the templates that we can get. We have things like goal trackers that we can see right here. So we can click in, see if we want to use this. We have like a meal planning right here. So we can see all of these meal plans. And if we have any of these that we actually want to use, for example, let's say I want to use book writing right here. We can copy to My Projects, and this is going to be added in along the side. So this is now added in, and then I could go ahead, click into these, change them around, start adding subtasks in, and that is how we can use the template section. This is a very handy section to use if this is your first time using Todoist, and you don't feel confident enough to go ahead and start building out your own projects. We can just go in here, browse a template, and you can even search for something that you want to use. For example, we could search for like a shopping list or grocery list. Let's go for that. We can see the grocery list right here. All we have to do is copy to projects, and then we could go ahead and edit this ourselves. So we have fruit and vegetables. Let's say I don't want to buy some broccoli, so I can go to this right-hand side, delete this, and instead I do need some potatoes. So we can add a task, call this potatoes, and just like that, that's going to be added in. Then once we go around the supermarket, we can check these off, and we can have them all right there. You may also want to add team members into Todoist. So how do we do this? By default, we are going to be taken here to a personalized board, so only you will be able to see this. If you want to create a team and add team members to work with you on Todoist, then all we have to do is click on your name in this top left corner, and then we can go down to add a team. We can then choose the team name, so let's call this GeForce North. We can then click on Get Started, and then it's going to ask us a few different questions right here. So let's just answer all of these. Then we can click Setup and Continue. Just like that, I now have my team created. So this is my personal workspace that I was working on earlier, and this is my team workspace that I can work on with my team. So this works in the exact same way, where we can go in, we can add different projects, we can choose from these templates that we want to share with the team, and to actually add new team members to your team, you just go to your team, click on this plus icon, and then we can click on Invite Members. All we would then have to do is enter in the email of the person we want to invite, just like this, and then we can choose their permissions, so if they are an admin or a member. Once that is entered, we can click on Send Invites, and that is going to send them an invite to join your Todoist team to their email address. So they just go to their email, open that up, and then they can join your Todoist team. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about inside of Todoist is just some custom backend settings that you can set up. So to access these, we just go up to your profile icon, then click into settings, and in here we can change all of these settings. So the main thing is going to be theme. So you can choose your theme if you want like tangerine, if you want a dark theme, any of these options right here. We can then go to sidebar and choose what is shown in sidebar. So if we turn inbox off, that inbox is going to disappear. We can customize that right there. We can go to general, where you can change the language, time zone, time format, all of that good stuff. And I don't want to go into detail with all of these different options and how you change them, because that would take too long. But that's how you get into the settings area. You can change your theme, and you can go through here, set up different notifications that you are going to get to your email. So it's definitely worth going through all of these different settings and tailoring these to your needs with Todoist. So that is my complete Todoist tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.